Alright, so in this problem, I have 3 to the power of x minus 3 to the power of x minus 1 is equal to 18. So to start, if I have something in the form a to the power of m plus n, this is equal to a to the power of m times a to the power of n. So 3 to the power of x minus 1, that's going to equal 3 to the power of x times 3 to the power of negative 1, and I have this is equal to 18. Now, I'm going to go ahead and factor out 3 to the power of x. So I get 3 to the power of x times 1 minus 3 to the power of negative 1 is equal to 18. And now, 3 to the power of negative 1, that's the same thing as 1 over 3 to the power of 1, which is simply 1 over 3. And 1 minus 1 over 3, that's going to equal 2 over 3. Now, I'm going to divide both sides by 2 over 3. And dividing by 2 over 3, that's the same thing as multiplying by 3 over 2. So I have 18 times 3 over 2. And 18 times 3 is 54. 54 divided by 2 is 27. So I have 3 to the power of x is equal to 27. And 27 is the same thing as 3 to the power of 3. So I have 3 to the power of x is equal to 3 to the power of 3, meaning x is equal to 3. So now, to check, I get 3 to the power of x minus 3 to the power of x minus 1 is equal to 18. And x is 3, so I have 3 to the power of 3 minus 3 to the power of 3 minus 1 is equal to 18. And 3 to the power of 3 minus 1, that's 3 to the power of 2, so I have 3 to the power of 3 minus 3 to the power of 2 is equal to 18. And 3 to the power of 3, this is equal to 27. 3 to the power of 2 is equal to 9, so I have 27 minus 9 is equal to 18. And 27 minus 9, that is 18. So I get 18 is equal to 18, and because this is right, my solution of x equals 3 is also right. Alright, so in this problem, I have x to the power of 3 minus x squared is equal to 4. So I'm going to start by subtracting 4 on both sides. So these two cancel out, and I get x to the power of 3 minus x squared is equal to negative 4. Now, I'm going to, sorry, I did this wrong. I'm supposed to have x power 3 minus x squared minus 4 is equal to 0. So now, to actually solve this, I need to find one solution of x, and then using that solution, I'm going to find the rest. So to do that, I'm just going to plug in values of x until I get a solution. So for x1, that's not going to work. For x equals 2, I get 8 minus 4, and this is equal to a 0. So x equals 2 is a solution. So now using x equals 2, I can divide it with this. So I have x to the power of 3 minus x squared minus 4 divided by x minus 2. And then this results in x squared plus x plus 2. So I get x minus 2 times x squared plus x plus 2 is equal to x to the power of 3 minus x squared minus 4. And remember, that's equal to 0. So I have this is equal to 0. So now to solve this, I get two equations. I get x minus 2 is equal to 0, and I get x squared plus x plus 2 is equal to 0. So for x minus 2 equals 0, x is obviously equal to 2. That's a simple equation. And now for x squared plus x plus 2 equals 0, I'm going to use the quadratic formula, which is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So in this case, a is 1, b is 1, and c is 2. So I get x is equal to negative 1 plus or minus the square root of 1 squared, which is 1, minus 4 times 1 times 2 all over 2a. And now this is equal to negative 1 plus or minus the square root of 1 minus 8, which is negative 9. Or sorry, negative 7. Now I have this over 2. And this is equal to negative 1 plus or minus the square root of 7i over 2. So these are my three solutions. Alright, so in this problem, I have 5 to the power of x plus 1 minus 5 to the power of x is equal to 100. So obviously I want to find the value of x here. So for my solution, I'm going to start off by using the property a to the power of m plus n is equal to a to the power of m times a to the power of n. So 5 to the power of x plus 1, that's going to equal 5 to the power of x times 5 to the power of 1. And now I have this minus 5 to the power of x is equal to 100. Now from here, I'm going to factor out 5 to the power of x. So I get 5 to the power of x times 5 to the power of 1 minus 1 is equal to 100. And now 5 to the power of 1 is the same thing as 5, so I have 5 to the power of x times 5 minus 1 is equal to 100. And 5 minus 1 is 4, so I have 5 to the power of x times 4 is equal to 100. Now we want to isolate 5 to the power of x, so I'm going to divide both sides by 4. So I can have 5 to the power of x is equal to 25. And 25, this is the same thing as 5 squared. So I have 5 to the power of x is equal to 5 squared, meaning x is equal to 2. So now to check, my original equation was 5 to the power of x plus 1 minus 5 to the power of x equals 100. And x equals 2. So I have 5 to the power of 2 plus 1 minus 5 to the power of 2 is equal to 100. 5 to the power of 2 plus 1, that's 5 to the power of 3 minus 5 squared is equal to 100. 5 to the power of 3 is 125 minus 25 is equal to 100. And this is 100 is equal to 100.
Welcome back to Click Academics. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to solve this exponential equation. So we have x to the power of 5 minus 1 equals 0. Well, our first step is to isolate x, right? We want to get it by itself. So to do that, we need to get rid of this negative 1 here. So to do that, we need to get it to the other side, and how we're going to do that is we're going to add 1 on both sides. So these two would cancel out because negative 1 plus 1 is 0, so this would leave us with x to the power of 5 equals 0 plus 1 is 1. So now that we have this, well, we want to get rid of this exponent here. We just want to get x by itself because that's our goal, finding the value of x, right? So to get rid of this exponent, we got to do the opposite of it, which is finding the root of it. So because its exponent is 5, we're going to put this term to the root of 5. And that would result in both of these two canceling out because remember, these two are opposite and opposites cancel out. Just like minus 1 and plus 1, these two cancel out. So what we do on one side, we do on the other side. So we're also going to do the root of 5 on this side. Well, this x to the power of 5 to the root of 5, well, this is the same thing as x to the power of 5 times 1 over 5, right? Because the root of 5 is also 1/5. The square root is 1/2. So what this number is, that's just 1 over that number. And 5 times 1 over 5 is equal to 1, right? So this is x to the power of 1, which obviously equals x, equals the square root, 1 to the root of 5. Well, 1 to the root of 5, this is the same thing as 1 to the power of 1/5. And 1 to the power of anything is simply 1, because that's just how it is. So this is 1. And x to the power of 1 is x. So x equals 1. And this is our answer. Now, why don't we try plugging this in to our original equation? So if we substitute in 1 for x, we get 1 to the power of 5 minus 1 equals 0. Now 1 to the power of 5 is 1, so we get 1 minus 1 equals 0. And 1 minus 1 is obviously 0, so we have 0 equals 0. And because this is right, we know that x equals 1.